Today we're breaking down Google credentials in n8n. We're gonna discuss everything about them. If anything's confusing to you at the moment, it's not gonna be by the end of this video. So let's get started. There's one thing that's confusing for a lot of n8n users. For example, if I go to the Gmail node, click select credential, create new credential, I can already see the sign in with Google button that will take me to the Google consent screen where I can just give n8n permissions to execute actions on my behalf. But if I go back to my editor and go to, for example, Google Drive, we'll follow exactly the same steps. So I'm going to create new credential. Then for the same setup, also for OAuth 2, I will need to provide n8n with client ID and client secret. So the first thing you need to understand about it is that Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Sheets, all of these use n8n's pre-configured OAuth flow. And that's why you can connect to all of these tools within just a few clicks without creating your Google Cloud project. And this is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to open Gmail node, click create new credential, and just sign in with Google. It's going to redirect me to the consent screen. I'm just going to select my email. What you're seeing right now is the Google OAuth consent screen. And here you can select scopes and give n8n permissions to execute some certain actions on your behalf. In order to test this connection, I'm just going to fetch the emails from my mailbox. So I'm just going to select the last permission. Connection is successful. The window will close automatically. Here it is, account connected. So right now we can close this one and we can execute this step. The data has arrived. I just got 2 messages fetched from my mailbox. This is correct because this is all I have in here. So our first credential worked. I can see n8n renamed this node for me. Okay, that's acceptable. Right now, exactly the same steps for Google Calendar and for Google Sheets. Going to Google Calendar, I'm going to click select credential, create new credential, sign in with Google, select the email, continue. I want to list events from this calendar, execute step, and we can see the example event is in here. The same example event is also in my Google Calendar. Everything works as expected. Going back to my scenario where I can finally connect Google Sheets. Also by signing in with Google, same email. I'll go for this permission. Connection successful. Let's now see the document from the list. And I can see for a free error, I gave Google Sheets insufficient permissions. So in that case, I'm just going to check my credential, sign in with Google once again, and probably in order to list, I need some more permissions. But it's always better to do it this way. It's always better to give insufficient permissions and then adjust instead of giving permissions that are too broad, unnecessary, and expose us to security risk that we can easily avoid. Now I'm going to go to the dropdown and I can see my example Google Sheets file. Sheet 1, execute step, and it has returned 1 row where first name and last name is John Doe. And this is exactly the data from the example Google Sheets file. That would be it if it comes to the easy part, where we just go, click sign in with Google, everything's done, effortless, one click, bam. So if the thing you're building only uses Gmail, Google Calendar, or Google Sheets, you're absolutely good to go without creating your own Google Cloud project and then setting up everything else that needs to be set up in order to get client ID and client secret. But in case you're building something that indeed requires Google Drive, Google Docs, or Google Slides, you would need a bit of a different setup. And this is what we're going to go through in the next video.